Spatial anchors are used to define where your walls are in your physical room in mixed reality experiences. Because they're anchored into your physical space, it means if you move your plane area, you can fly your physical room through the virtual space, because all the other objects are mapped into the virtual space. Now, it could be that you've got other objects that you want to also anchor to the room. So what we can do with these is we can change their node type from a normal node to an anchored node, and we can create an anchor. So in this case, I'm going to create a project-specific anchor, and this is a window control. So I'll put by window to remind me where they should be placed, and I'll move that and place it exactly where I want it to appear in the physical room. And you can see it updates it. And now if I move around, that's locked in space. Now, that's fine. You can create those for each of your projects. But what we can also do, if I add another node and tell it to be an anchored node, we can also have these generic anchors. The benefit of these is that they have default positions whenever a room is created. And if you base your project using these generic anchors, they only have to be set up once and they'll be common between all the different projects. So let's create an anchored node by the window. Now that's fine, and that will now stick with the room. But it could be that you want to create objects that are slightly off center. And also bear in mind that these spatially anchored nodes also do take up some processing resource to track them. So what we can do with this, first of all, I'm going to set this node to say it's not going to be visible when we actually start playing the project. And I'm going to grab these other nodes that I've also got, and these aren't anchored, but they do have child nodes. So you can see when I move the parent, the children move. And we can add a relationship between the anchored node and this node. And I'll say that I don't need a line, and I'm going to lock it to the parent. So now we're only using one anchored node, but if I move around again, all those nodes are locked in place. So if I go into play mode, you'll see the central node has now disappeared. We've got the icons where we want them, and we've got our window control that's moved with us as well.